Hi, everyone, and welcome to our X39 review and testimonial. It's Thursday night, and it is our patching. I am super excited to have so many of our folks here today. We have Dr. Mel, naturopath, here today. We have Holly here. She is a licensed acupuncturist. So we definitely have some folks, some doctors here tonight. We also have Jan Rand as her testimonial, and we're going to start with beautiful Nani and Quentin. Do they have a story? And before we get started, I just want to remind you all that LifeWave is not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose any diseases, but boy, does it have a lot of benefits. Nani, let's go ahead and start with you. What's going on with you? How did you learn about the X39 stem cell activation patch? And how are you different since you've been wearing it?
I tell you, Jeannie Volker was telling me about it, and I sampled me, and I was, reluctant, and I'd given it to some friends, and they would have immediate results, and I wasn't having that because I have a slower immune system, and it's compromised because of I have diabetes and high blood pressure and such, and so I wasn't getting the results. So honestly, I was quite jealous, but I have to say Jeannie did not give up on me, and I ended up with a stroke during that time anyway, and 5 of them actually, the mini strokes they said. And one of the things was caused basically the vessels in the back of my retina, and maybe there's some doctors on that can speak better than I can because I'm just doing third hand from all these doctor's appointments. But the vessels in the back of my eyes broke, and I've become blind. And they said it was kind of like mud on a windshield screen, and it was just a horrible experience. And I mean, I had some terrible things happen with the stroke, my arm and everything, but I tell you, the vision loss was the worst to me. And because it's just, your whole life depends on that. And then with all this COVID stuff happening, and the our business did not do good, and I think that caused part of the stress and everything, with all these lockdowns and everything. So I've been kind of skeptical on everything. And but my husband, at the same time, he was getting cataract. And I did know that there was some people with the patches that were getting great success with the cataract. We had friends that were putting patches on, and they'd had like accidents, horse accidents. And for years, 50 years, 20 years, 30 years, had problem. And I'd give them some pain patches, ice waves, and or carnosine, and they would just have incredible results where they were doing goose steps when they couldn't even walk. And I was like not having the results I was hoping for. And so, but I stuck with it because of the encouragement. And I have to say, because of Jeannie Volker, I really stuck with it.
So what happened?
And so we put it on my.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, let me tell you real quick. With my husband, he actually started getting cataract. So he put these patches on his eyes, and they just worked like immediately. So I thought, well, maybe my eyes will start working. And I don't want to scare anybody telling you this testimonial, but what happened was I had a scheduled appointment for well, we're just waiting for some financing for laser treatment for my eyes. And they were telling me, oh, I'm going to get my vision back with this laser treatment and everything.
Basically, what happens is the tissue that catches the light and drives it down to the retina so that you can actually see, your brain can figure out what you're looking at. Those tissues, those cells have been clotted with blood because the vessels have burst, and
after the stroke.
And so what's happened is they're all clotted with blood, and that's the the smokiness that what's blurred her vision. So so when we went to the first
Eye specialist,
eye
the
specialist,
ophthalmologist.
he looked and he says, oh yeah, this is all that's happened, you know, high blood pressure, that, and
Diabetes.
this is
This
typical.
isn't typical.
What you're going to do is you're going to go over to this over to Birmingham, where
University, yeah.
they have some really good doctors there. They have a great process there where they use laser treatment, and they literally shoot the clotted blood in your eye vessels, and they disintegrate those, and then you can see, and you'll be able to see. Well, we thought, great, we're going to do. So he.
Hold on. So just a minute. So you're muted. So unmute yourself. So you're going to go get the laser treatment. You're muted. So you're going to go get the laser treatment. And what happens? We have about 2 more minutes. So you have to wrap it up. From the laser treatment to what? Yeah. So we have the laser treatment. Yeah. Now you're good. So you have the laser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No. So she's going to the laser.
And I thought I would speed up the process by putting some patches on, because he had great results with the patches, not needing the surgery with the cataract. And can you hear me okay?
Yes. So what happened? Did you take the patches, and then what happened?
Okay. So what happened was they had to actually
She went to a scheduled
appointment,
which was.
And the ophthalmologist had to call in a second opinion, because he's never seen anything like it, because the growth was so rapid. They actually had to kill my growth because they hadn't done the surgery yet.
The growth.
Okay, so one person at a time, Nani and Quentin, one person at a time. So now you've wore the patches. What's happened to your eyes? One person, only one person could talk. Let's have Nani talk. Nani, you talk. What happened to your eyes since you wore the X39?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, the vessels started growing before they had done the surgery.
Wow.
A new lot. And so, but the problem was the doctors had to come in, and they'd never seen anything like it. They said in their history of their practices. And it was not a good thing, because they hadn't done the old surgery yet. So they had to actually kill my new growth, and I have to go back now for the surgery. So this is still an ongoing saga, but I know firsthand, I'm glad this happened, because it was so unusual. And with 3 specialists looking at me now, I know that the second that I have this laser eye surgery, I'll put the patches on, and my new stuff will grow again, just like it did before.
Whoa. So basically, just to understand, your eyes were messed up from the stroke. You were getting the laser surgery. You started the patches. All the blood vessels started growing back. You went to the doctor. The doctor's like, yikes, those aren't supposed to all be growing back yet. We got to laser them off, which they'll do. And then they're going to grow back again, and your eyes are going to be beautiful. Did I get it?
Exactly.
Perfect. Yes.
Oh my God.
Exactly
Nani, Quentin, thank you so much. Wow. You are going to have your eyes back, and I'm excited.
Keep tuned.
I will keep tuned for the next step. Thank you. We're going to move to Jan Rand now. Jan, in about 4 minutes, what's been happening to you? And you need to unmute yourself. Thank you.
Okay. So when I've been using the patches now for almost 3 years. So when I first started, the reason that I actually joined was Marcy's my friend. I trust her, and I just kind of wanted to hang out with her. And I thought I'm pretty healthy. I exercise a lot, but I had a lot of lower back pain when I would walk around, like walking my dog and stuff. So I started using the patches, and it took my lower back pain away. But then I got this really weird thing, which Marcy likes to call blood foot, but the technical name for it is called venous reflux. I was getting ready to go to the gym one day, and I looked down, and my foot was the size of a football. And I called my niece, who's a nurse practitioner. She said, get to the ER. They did an emergency ultrasound to make sure I didn't have a blood clot. Long story short, it was venous reflux. Blood would go one way, not come back up. So my leg and foot was constantly swollen, and there was really nothing that they could do about it. So one day Marcy came into my work, we talking about the patches, and I go, okay, if the patch can fix my foot, I'll get serious. And I put my foot up on the counter and she stuck the patch on, and within a month, my foot stopped swelling and it hasn't swelled in 3 years. But the things, you know, a lot of people will tell you, oh, I didn't feel anything, but the long-term effect is the thing that really surprised me. I've worn glasses my whole life. On my driver's license, it's always said needs corrective lenses. I don't wear glasses anymore. I've been doing dry eye studies for over 20 years. The last 2 times they called me in, I didn't qualify. I still have dry eye, but I don't have any of the symptoms. So my eyes have gotten better. And then I've always had a gum issue. When I go to the dentist, the pockets, you know, where they call out the numbers, like 1s, 2s, 3s are kind of okay. When you're getting into 4s, 5s, 6s, you got a problem. And the last couple of times I've gone, all my numbers have come down to like 2s, which means I have new growth in my gum line. And then about a year ago, I tore the meniscus in my knee. And it was super, super painful. It wasn't bad enough where I needed surgery. Again, it's one of those things that you're just going to have to live with it. And I started patching my knee with the Eon, the X39, and then the pain one, Ice Wave. And my knee is 95% better. Every once in a while, if I turn my foot a certain way, I get a twinge. But here's the most important thing. When I first talked to Marcy about it, Marcy told me that she felt more joyful on the patch. And I thought to myself, what a crock of baloney that is. And when you listen to these calls, you'll hear people say that. And I just thought it was, yeah, right. And I am more joyful. I'm one of these people that I was either up, everything was great, or crashing and burning. Most of the time, crashing and burning. I've always had not anxiety, but a little bit of depression issue. And the last 3 years have been the most even, consistent, happy, content years of my life. Nothing really changed other than using the patch, working with a bunch of amazing people, starting to make some money just by sharing an amazing product. And it has truly changed my life. And I am so in gratitude to Marcy for sharing it with me and letting me work with her and helping everybody doing what I do.
Yeah, and I had to meet her for dinner and have a vegan lasagna, just saying. And I'm talking about this. I love to see you happy. Because I've known Jan for a decade, and I knew when she wasn't so happy, I would see the ups and downs. And it makes me so happy that you're happy, and you know I just adore you. So with that, let's move over to Holly. Holly is an acupuncturist, and Dr. Mel, I believe, introduced it to Holly. Holly, tell us a little bit about what's going on with you and your clients.
Well, when I first tried it, the first time I put it on, because I am an acupuncturist, I'm pretty sensitive. I could feel it right away, activated in my body. So I was like, okay, there's something to this. And I've been on it now for 7 weeks, and I can tell you that my eyesight is better. I don't need reading glasses. I used to have to do that for the past 4 years. I can read even the tiny writing on an essential oil bottle. My hair started growing. I was to the point where with the top of my head, if I would go out in the sun, I would have a sunburn on top of my head. I don't get that anymore. So my hair's come in, my skin is better. I was taking collagen. I've been doing herbs for 26 years because I was really sick back when I was 28, and it took me on this whole healing journey to become a craniosacral therapist, an acupuncturist, herbalist. So I'm totally on board. I'm doing all these things for my health, but I can tell you that this has taken me to a whole nother level, being able to use this. And from what I'm noticing, it's like it's working on the constitutional level. You know, you're going back and really being able to change the Constitution, because these are things that I was not able to get change on. I'm 53 now. I've been taking herbs for all those years, but this is just absolutely amazing.
Let me ask you this, Holly. You said it's getting at the Constitution. What does
Yes.
that mean? Like the core deep healing that we needed? What do you mean by that? I want to
So
know.
your constitution is kind of like the energy and the energy life force that you come in with. So to me, you're able to actually affect at that level and
Wow.
be able to change things, because like, okay, I've taken herbs on and off for my kidneys for a long time. I mean, like I could be eating a steak and my body would tell me, okay, that's enough. I can have a small amount and that's it. Now, since I've been doing all these patches, it's like I'm desiring more protein. My body is stronger. Everything is functioning so much better. So it's like it's working all on.
So it's almost like your constitution, you're getting back to the energy and constitution of like where you were when you were 20. That's what it feels like.
Oh
me.
my gosh, yes. And that's the thing, to be able to go and affect at such a level, to have the ability to have stem cells activated, because they can become anything that your body needs. And the body has a hierarchy. It knows what it needs. And like craniosacral therapy principles, like your body has an inner physician. So it's like your inner physician knows where it needs to send those stem cells.
So it's almost like I'm 55. We're the same age. You're right. Remember, we were back in the day when Madonna was in the 80s, like 87.
Yes.
Remember that? When we were like 20. And it almost feels like our body knows what we need, but at 55, it couldn't source it anymore. And when you activate the stem cells, I love the word constitution. I've never heard that before, Holly, but you're getting the constitution of a 20-year-old again. You're sourcing the healing of when you were young, and your body's taking it at our age. That's what you mean.
Yes. And so this is another thing. Like, I mean, I do a lot of different therapies I have throughout the years. And like I've gone for advanced craniosacral therapy. Joanne Nealis, who's also using the patches, she's a fantastic practitioner. And she's done work with me with my brain and everything else. And what I notice is that not only was I able to keep the full treatment, but my body has even been able to advance even further. Like she's helped me to get back. I used to be dyslexic. I'm not dyslexic anymore. My focus is amazing. I can sit there and do an advanced Chinese class on the weekend, and I can actually stay on point and listen to 3/4 of the class before I start to lose focus.
I have a question. Were you dyslexic as a 20-year-old? Like, did you actually progress even? You said yes.
I was, I definitely had, I mean, they didn't diagnose things back then like they do, but in hindsight, I mean, I was always put from one class to another. It was like I was bounced to the class with the people that, didn't function very well. And then they're like, well, you don't belong here. And they're like, and they'd put me back in the other class.
So really, you're saying that the stem cell activation is taking you to constitution and better.
Right. Yeah, there are things between that and the other things that I've done. And I know that it's definitely kept those changes. Like I feel it in my brain to be able to focus better, to be able to, and my memory, that short term, just being able to remember a string of numbers. I never could do that. And the other day I did that. And I was like shocked.
Wow.
I was in a class.
I'll tell you, Holly, I've heard things from memory to depression to, the blood moving the correct way up the leg to the blood vessels of the eyes coming back. Like you can't make this stuff up. This is all over the board. And what it tells me, Holly, tell me if I'm right. Dr. Patty, MD, talked about the other day how stem cells hone in to where you need the healing most and start to turn into the cells you need to heal. And so you are different than Jan, who is different than Nani, but you guys all need stem cells at a different place for a different reason. And boom, there it goes. Did I get that right?
Yes. Yeah. And I can see like the people that are coming in to see me, like their energy may have been really close to their body because people don't come to an acupuncturist because they're well, they're having issues and they'll come in, you could just see their whole energy field is shifted and they're happier and they have more energy and they're having positive shifts. One guy, he was only doing the patch for 3 weeks and he went to the cardiologist and the cardiologist was like, you're doing great.
I have a
Like-
question about that. You said their energy shifted. It was close to their body. Is it when it shifts, is when they're not feeling well, does the energy stay close? And when they feel better, their energy goes more outside? What did you mean by that?
Well, yes, like sometimes, your auric field can be stronger, or,
Ah.
because sometimes you can even see energy coming off of people.
So
So,
a stronger field would
Stronger.
mean a healthier body. When it's really
Yes.
tight and in, it might be that they're trying to heal something and it's in. I understand. I just wanted to understand your language. Wow.
oh, yeah, that's the
That's-
Chinese language.
That's the Chinese language. So basically the X39 is creating a stronger energy field for healing to happen. Did I understand that right?
Absolutely. Well, it's just strengthening them to be able to have that field.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
definitely strengthening, and that's what I see. And then like I have somebody that comes in that has tremors, and like they got on the table like that, and they did not before, and they've only been doing it a month. And then the cycling is much slower, and they're stronger. And I'm not sure, but their back was straighter, and I was like, wow, that was surprising too.
Wow. So not only energetically, but physically, you're seeing changes all over the body. Holly,
Yeah.
is there, I have probably 30 more seconds before we need to go to Dr. Mel to explain this technology. Any last bit you'd like to share?
All I can say is this just takes it to a whole nother level. Like, of course you want to do your nutrition. This isn't go eat 20 cheeseburgers and, drink and party and do that. You do a healthy lifestyle, you do some exercise, you get your rest, you add this on top, it's just going to take you so far where, it's really, I'm blown away by the results.
Holly, thank you
I
for
really am.
sharing about yourself, your patients, and even how energy works. We really appreciate you tonight. With that, Dr. Mel, why don't you unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about this X39 stem cell activation? What is it? How does it work? How do you wear it? Why is this happening to all these people?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me, Marcy?
I can.
Beautiful. Okay, so the technology looks like this. It's a little round white Band-Aid, but it does a lot more than that. So when you put this on at the back of your neck on C7 or 2 inches below the belly button, what we know is that we are light, right? We go out at night. You can see people with a night vision goggle. We are emitting light and energy at all times. We are heat. You touch yourself, you're warm, emitting heat, a low infrared light. So when you put this patch on, for the purpose, I'll just put it right here so we can see it. Inside this patch, in this white area, there's nothing but organic amino acids, salt and sugar and oxygen. It's a proprietary blend that forms a crystal lattice formation. So it's not like your regular molecules, your regular isomers that you see. It's a stereoisomer. But anyways, this crystal lattice, when your body's light hits it, it reflects back a signal to activate your GHK-Cu copper peptide, which would increase your stem cell production. And this is huge because, first of all, we know stem cells are very costly. They can cost tens and thousands of dollars. And second of all, they can be controversial depending on the way they've been extracted. But with this patch, literally, you put it on, it's the price of a cup of coffee a day. You go about your day. You don't even have to feel it or anything. And you are able to do so much for yourself. So we are a science-based company. We have over 90 clinical studies. The studies are there for everyone to see. The patents are there. Everything is patented. This patch by itself, it took David 10 years in a lab to figure out the exact formula on how to create. But yes, the first 3 systems that we see improvements in is your nervous system, your digestive system, and your immune system. We have seen every 6 weeks of being in the patch, the entire cardiovascular system goes back and becomes younger for 2 months. So it becomes 2 months younger every 6 weeks of wearing this. Based on clinical studies, we have seen every 6 months of wearing this patch, you are able to reverse back your age by 8 years. So you can get your biomarkers done, and then you can test them again after 6 months, and you'll see. If you're healthy, like for example, Dr. Stacy got hers done, she's extremely healthy. She actually went back 18 years. So it looked like she's 30, although she's turning 48 this year, just because she's extremely healthy. But people who are facing any type of condition expect an average of 8 years of going back, which is huge. So some people are like, well, when do we stop using it? And we like to tell them, whenever you'd like to stop, start aging again, because the more you wear it, the more you reverse in age, and you just literally stay at 25. That was David's mission, for everybody to go back to 25 and live up to 250 years old as if they're 25, because quality of life is extremely important. We need to have that mental clarity, that energy. We need our best. So stem cells, they are pluripotent, meaning they can differentiate into any cells that we need them to get to. So they can become liver cells, kidney cells, whatever cells that we need, and they can repair any system. So you guys may be here for your back pain or for your shoulder pain, but stem cells not going to go immediately fix that. It may, we just don't get to choose. Our body has an innate intelligence that knows which area needs to address first. So it may go and fix your pancreas first before addressing your shoulder pain. But know that definitely for sure you are repairing and regenerating your organ system and the whole body as a whole. But basically that was a very short overview of the science. I do like to let you guys know, as a retail price, you can get it for $150 a pack. A pack is a month's sleeve, which is 30 days. It looks like what Marcy's showing you.
That is the X39 sleeve, Dr. Mill, just so they see the sleeve, and that's a 30-day. Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah. And guys, make sure you drink half of your body weight in fluid ounces. That's extremely important for proper cell signaling. The second way you can get it is if you want to sign up as a preferred customer. So instead of paying $150, you can actually pay $119, and you can get that whole month's supply, which is huge. I mean, we spend so much on pills and on supplements and on doing so many activities to keep our body in perfect balance. Whereas with this, you are creating that perfect balance. And the third way you can get it is if you want to get a wholesale package. So get in touch with the person that invited you to this call. They can set you up with a wholesale package, which is $2.99 a silver pack. And you can get a 3-month supply of X39 for $2.99. So that's an amazing deal. That's what we love, all of us love. And that's what we all get, because I mean, who doesn't want a stem cell patch at $99 a pack? But yes, I mean, it's an amazing company. I use it in my practice. I use it with my family and friends. We always wear them. And I just absolutely love the product. So you guys can customize it to other patches. Technically, we do have 12 other patches, but we like to focus on the X39. Know that with the silver pack, you do have the option to customize if you like to add in other supportive patches to your X39. Yeah, did I cover everything, Marcy?
You did, Dr. Mel. Thank you for the science. I love how she explains how the crystal lattice works. That's so exciting. So I'll just add 2 more things. For more information, you can go to startx39.com. There's a great 18-minute video by our owner, inventor, and CEO, David Schmidt, on X39. He'll explain exactly how the technology works and the issues it helps you with. Dr. Mel also talked about all the research studies and the patents. You can click the tab, Research and Patents, and you can see the 20-year patent that says, yes, X39 activates GHK copper peptide in the blood, which stimulates your stem cells. If you want to know more about the GHK copper peptide, there happens to be a tab right next to patents and research, and it talks all about what GHK copper peptide does. Know that this is an amazing product with a ton of research behind it, and just enjoy what it's going to do for you. So with that, Dr. Mel, thank you so much for coming. Holly, thank you for your information on Constitution. That was new learning for me. Jan and Nani, thank you for your wonderful testimonials. With that, we will see you all later tonight, tomorrow, Friday night at 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern. Don't miss, same channel, Laura Balzer and Wendy Morgan and their review and testimonial call. With that, good night, everyone. Good night.
Great team, great call. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was beautiful, beautiful.